Good morning, every wake and bake. How are you? So, I am Nikki K the Great. I am your narrator through this journey here of the Old Testament. So, take your pills, grab your morning mocha, and then let's keep people alive and wake and bake with Lost Bible. So we are on First Chronicles 18, continuing our story of David. So let's see what it says. Chapter 18. Okay. Now, sometime afterward, so this is after David made a church band. David attacked the Philistines and subdued them. He took Gath and its villages from the Philistines. He defeated Moab and the Moabites. He defeated Moab, and the Moabites became subject to David and brought tribute. He also struck down King Hadadezer of Zobah toward Hamath as he went to set up a monument at the river Euphrates. Okay, so King Hadadezer, what's his face, was gonna go set up a monument to himself, and David was like, run that bitch. David took from him 1,000 chariots, 7,000 cavalry, 20,000 foot soldiers. And then David heard all the horses. So not only is he gay, he's a liar, he's a murderer, and now he's a psychopath animal killer. Not saying there's anything wrong with any of those things except for the animal killing and the murdering. But that goes to show you God will use you no matter who or what you are. David was God's right hand man. He's a psychopathic, murdering, gay liar. And God's like, hey, you're my best friend. When the Arameans of Damascus came to help, David killed 22,000 Arameans. And David put garrisons in Aram. And the Arameans became subject to David and brought tribute. The Lord gave victory to David wherever he went. David took the gold shields that were carried by the servants of Hadadezer and brought them to Jerusalem. From Tibhath and from Kun, cities of Hadadezer, David took a vast quantity of bronze. Now it's going to tell us about something that we've never read, that we're not supposed to know about. But Solomon made the bronze sea. Remember, and the Philistines broke them all. Yep. When King Tal of Hamath heard that David had defeated the whole army of King Hadadezer, he sent Hadaram to King David to greet and congratulate him, because he had been fighting Hadadezer and could not win. So he sent gold, silver, and bronze, all the stuff. These also King David dedicated to the Lord, together with the silver and the gold he had carried from all other nations, from Edom, Moab, the Ammonites, the Philistines, and Amalek. And that's what I don't understand. You're taking all of this gold stuff and you're giving it to God. What's God gonna do with it? Big guy, what did you do with it? Okay. So Abishai killed 18,000 Edomites in the Valley of Salt. This is Joab's brother, Abishai. That's Joab's brother. And he put garrisons in Edom, and all the Edomites became subject to David. And the Lord gave victory to David wherever he went. So David reigned over all Israel, and he administered justice and equity to all his people. Right? Joab, the son of Zeruiah. Okay, so Joab, he was over the army. Josaphat was recorder. Zadok and Ahimelech were priests, and Shavsha was secretary. Benaniah was over the Kiriathites and the Pelethites, and David's sons were the chief officials in the service of the king. I thought they were priests. In the other book, it says they're priests. The one we just read. Think kings. They were priests. Okay, chapter 19. Okay, chapter 19. Give me a second. Okay, chapter 19. Sometime afterward, King Nahash of the Ammonites died, and his son succeeded him. Oh, this little motherfucker. All right, hold on 1 second. I gotta fix my chair. Okay, chapter 19. Okay, here we go. So the king of the Ammonites died, and his son succeeded him. And David said, okay, I'm going to be nice to this guy. I need to be a nice guy, right? Everybody thinks I'm so mean because I am so mean. But I need to be a nice guy. So I need to do nice guy things. So I'm going to send this guy some nice guy stuff, right? I'm going to send him some chicks, some dudes, some food. Everything. I'm going to give him everything, right? So David sent all this stuff. And when David's servants came to Hanun in the land of the Ammonites to console him, the dudes that were in the king's ears said, do you really think this is what this is? This guy has been our enemy since the beginning of time. So I think they're coming to spy, right? They're coming to spy. Don't trust these guys. Don't trust these guys. Right? So, the king, the new king, sees David's servants, shaved off their beards, and cut their garments at the dick hole, and made them walk away. And so they left, and they was crying, they was snotty, it was all up in their beards and on the side of their face. And somebody told David, and David said, this guy, fuck this guy. All right, listen, fuck this guy. I'm going to get my homies. So David pulled up like, yo, get in, we got shit to do. I'm about to drop you off. Get your shit together and come back and see me, right? And then the Ammonites heard, oh shit, David pulled up. All right, All right. We need to go to war. We done pissed off the man. Now we gotta fight. But this ain't our fault, though. Like, we didn't do this because he was for sure probably gonna spy at some point. He's a bad guy. He's a bad, bad man. Right. So David should just have realized you've been so mean for so long that you being nice is suspect. So the Ammonites, gave some money to. Oh, did they say Mesopotamia in the last book? Because they did hire somebody, but I didn't know it was from Mesopotamia. Wasn't it from somewhere else? Okay, anyway, he paid for some chariots and cavalry from Mesopotamia, from Aram Maacah, and from Zobah. They hired 32,000 chariots, and the king of Maacah with his army, who came and camped before Medeba. And the Ammonites were mustered from their cities and came to battle. And when David heard of it, he was like, these motherfuckers, I was a nice guy, what happened? Right, like, I don't understand. I was being a nice guy. Can't be a nice guy, David. So, David sent out Joab and his whole army. He's like, all right, I'm going to come get some. So, the Ammonites came out and drew up in battle array at the entrance of the city. And the kings, they was by themselves, smoking a joint, watching the battle, right? When Joab saw the line of the battle was both in the front and the back, so he chose some of the picked men of Israel and arrayed them against the Arameans. The rest of his troops he put in the charge of Abishai, and they were arrayed against the Ammonites. And he said, if these guys are too tough for you, I'll come and help you. But if for some reason they're too tough for me, please oblige me and help. So they was like, bet. So then Job was like, be strong. Let us be courageous for our people, our cities, for our God. May the Lord do what seems good. Right? And he's like, bet. Right? So Joab and the troops who were with him advanced towards the Arameans for battle, and they fled. Man, these guys are ball sacks. When the Ammonites saw that the Arameans had fled, they likewise fled and entered the city. Then Joab was like, okay, time to go home. So they went home. Probably with super blue balls. Like you're getting ready to fight, getting hyped up, and then these motherfuckers run. Man, that must be like getting gut punched when you're trying to bust a nut. That's some shit. But, okay, but when the Arameans Okay. But when the Arameans saw they had been defeated, they sent messengers and brought out the Arameans who were beyond the Euphrates with Shaphat, the commander of the army of Hadadezer, at their head. I thought this dude was dead. Okay. And when David was informed, he said, okay, let's go fight. I want to fight. So they drew up in battle array and they began to fight. And the Arameans fled again. These vampires, man. And David killed 7,000 chariots, 40,000 foot soldiers, and also killed Shaphat. And when the servants of Hadadezer saw they had been defeated, they made peace with David and became subject to him. The Arameans were not willing to help the Ammonites anymore. Okay, so look, Nikki, you're reading. All right, I am reading. Things are happening. I don't know. All right, chapter 20. In the spring of the year, it doesn't say what year, but it is a year. So in the spring, when the kings go out to battle, Joab led out the army. See, this is like, these people were way smarter than the people we have now. Because they just want to fight whenever. But they actually have a set time. Like, you can talk shit all year. But when that time comes, let's go get it, right? Let's get some. Okay. Hold on. In the spring, the time when kings go to battle, Joab led out the army, ravaged the country of the Ammonites, and came and besieged Rabbah. But David remained at Jerusalem, and Joab attacked Rabbah and overthrew it. David took the crown of Milcom from his head. So he's got this dude, and he takes his crown and looks at it and was like, and put it on his own head. Man. But it weighed a talent of gold, and in it was a precious stone, and it was placed on David's head. He's like, looking so fresh, right? And he also brought out the booty of the city, a very great amount. Yeah, but why though? If you're taking over the city, why would you take everything out of it? What is the point of that? You can't make money that way. Listen, this is where the Democrats get it from, ain't it? Ain't it? I'm going to take all the money, and then when they can't give me no more money, I'm going to be so mad. It's like, don't take out all the money, and then you'll have money. Don't be dumb, these people. He brought out the people who were in it and set them to work with saws and iron picks and axes. Oh, axes. They had axes. Thus, David did to all the cities of the Ammonites. Then David and all the people returned to Jerusalem. After this, war broke out with the Philistines at Gezer. Then Sibbekai, Sibbekai the Hushite killed Zippai, who was one of the descendants of the giants, and the Philistines were subdued. Okay, so if you know a giant, he's part Philistine, I guess, because that's where all the giants are coming from. Philistine. Okay. Again, there was war with the Philistines, and Elhanan, son of Jair, killed Lamni, the brother of Goliath the Gittite, the shaft of whose spear was like a weaver's beam. Okay, this guy, he killed Goliath's brother. Again, there was war at Gath, where there was a man of great size. He had 24 phalanges. He was also descended from the giants. When he taunted Israel, Jonathan, David's nephew, killed him. So he must have been like, suck my tiny Jew balls. Suck my tiny Jew balls. And then killed the giant guy. These were descended from the giants in Gath, and they fell by the hand of David and his servants. Dun dun dun. So David and his people made the giants extinct. Got it. Right. Last chapter. Oh, here we go. Okay. First Chronicles, chapter 21. The first time they mention Satan. They don't call him Baal. They don't call him, who's the other guy's name? Moloch. None of those names. Actually calls him Satan. Satan stood up against Israel and incited David to count the people of Israel. Oh, okay. But in the other book, it says it was God that did it. In Kings, it says God did it. But in this one, it's like, nah, that was Satan. Oh, see, now I want to go look, but I don't know. I don't even know where it would be. Fuck. Anyway, Satan stood up against Israel and incited David to count the people. So David said to Joab and all the dudes, like, go all over the place and count the people. Count them. It'll be great. And Joab's like, the fact you just say no. Who's doing that? I'm not doing that. Are you doing that? You don't want to do that. These are a lot of motherfuckers. I don't want to do that. Are you going to do that? Who's going to do that? Nobody. And, hold on. Okay, but then David's like, I will cattle prod your ball sack. Go count these fucking people. And then Joab's like, well, I don't want I don't want my ball sack crack cattle prodded. Alright, let's go count some people. So, the total number of vampires was 1,100,000 men who drew the sword. In the other book, it was a different number. And the werewolves, 470,000 who drew the sword. These numbers are different in the other book. Okay. But he did not include Levi and Benjamin in the numbering. For the king, or Joab was like, no, these are God's. Nope. But God was displeased with this thing, and he struck Israel. Yeah, but what was he upset about? That Levi and Benjamin weren't going, or that the people were counted? Let's find out. David said to God, oh, what the fuck, man? Please. I fucked up big time. I don't know what I did, but I know it was stupid. Forgive us. So God told Gad's David's seer. I don't know what happened to Nathan, but it was Nathan. But okay. And God was like, go tell David, 3 things I offer you, right? You get 3 things, right? 3 things. You gotta pick one. So he was like, 3 years of famine, 3 months of devastation, or 3 days of the sword of the Lord, pestilence on the land, and the angel of the Lord destroying throughout all the territory of Israel. Now, pick one. And then David was like, this, you know what? I'm not even going to pretend this is a hard one. I want the God thing. Give me the God thing. Hey, we have a chance with the God thing, so I want the God thing. So, the Lord set a pestilence on Israel, and 70,000 persons fell in Israel. And God sent an angel to Jerusalem to destroy it. When he was about to destroy it, the Lord took note and relented concerning the calamity. He said to the destroying angel, chill out, right? And the angel of the Lord was then standing by the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite. Look, look, look. This is totally different. David looked up and saw the angel of the Lord standing between earth and heaven, and in his hand a drawn sword stretched out over Jerusalem. Then David and the elders, clothed, so they did the diaper and t-shirt thing and then did the face thing. And David said, I'm the one that fucked up, big guy. Listen, it was me. Leave these people alone. Don't hurt these people. Right. Don't hurt the people. Okay? So don't hurt the people. Then the angel of the Lord commanded Gad to tell David, go to Ornan's house and build an altar. So David went to Ornan's house to build an altar. And Ornan saw David and was like, King Face, good deal. Right? Oh, there's more. Wait a minute. Ornan turned and saw the angel while his 4 sons were with him, hid themselves. Ornan continued to thresh wheat and saw David. That's right. And he was like, King Face, and then did the face thing. And then David was like, I need to buy this from you. I gotta build an altar, right? Let me pay for it, right? And then Ornan said, you're the king. Take it. Take it. I'll give you everything you need. I will give it, right? And David was like, how much is it? How much is it? How much is it? Right? So, David paid Ornan $600 for the site. Look, this one it's gold, the other one it's silver. David built there an altar to the Lord and presented burnt offerings and offerings of well-being. He called upon the Lord and he answered him with fire. Then the Lord commanded the angel and he put his sword back in its sheath, right? So I'm sure the angel was like, I didn't even get to fight nobody. At that time, when David saw that the Lord had answered him at the threshing floor, he made his sacrifices there. For the tabernacle of the Lord, which Moses made in the wilderness, and the offering of burnt offerings were at that time in the high place at Gibeon. See, God's got a high place. But David could not go before it to inquire of God, for he was afraid of the sword of the Lord. Wow. Wow. I know exactly where to find this thing. Okay. Wow. I know exactly where to find this, and we will be back to see how different this is. Holy fucking shit, I can't believe it. And remember, I've read this before. I've read this before and never noticed that. So, we're about to find out. Anyway, thank you for watching. I love you and have the greatest rest of the day ever